Park, City Council meeting number 1280, October 17th, 2016. Let us stand for the pledge, please. Call the roll, please.
Burns.
Here.
Collins.
Here.
Cottle.
Here.
Herbie.
Here.
Holt.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Southall.
Here.
All members are present. Is there a motion to excuse Mr. Wyckoff?
Oh, I would move to excuse Law Director John Wyckoff.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we excuse the law director from the meeting. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion to excuse Mr. Wyckoff, let it be known by the sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Mr. Wyckoff is excused. Item number 2 on the agenda's minutes. You've all received copies of the minutes. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, we move to item number 3, presentation. The first of these being Ohio Business, October Business of the Month Award, Queen City Mechanicals, Mr. Paulberg.
Mayor, members of council, thank you very much. As the mayor mentioned, our October Business of the Month is Queen City Mechanicals, a full-service contractor offering a broad range of plumbing and utility services to municipal, educational, and commercial clients throughout the tri-state. The Gilbert family established this business in 1983, and ever since, their dedicated team of project managers and union trade craftsmen have ensured that each and every project is professionally constructed from inception to completion. Queen City Mechanical specializes in municipal, education, and commercial installations within the public plan and spec markets. Installations range from common water, waste, and vent systems to more unique systems found in non-traditional projects, such as acid waste, medical gas, compressed air, and more. Queen City Mechanicals has the ability to provide complete installation of underground utility services, including stormwater, sanitary, domestic water, fire water, and natural gas installations. They even offer backflow testing within the state of Ohio via a team of state-certified plumbers. QCM also provides plumbing prefabrication services. This allows them to maximize time, minimize costs, and deliver top quality for their clients. It means a faster construction process with a focus on high standards of workmanship. Their 10,000 square foot facility on Waycross Road provides the space needed to offer this full range of plumbing and prefabrication services. QCM owner Gary Gilbert and his family have truly built one of the region's more successful businesses, and in recognition of this outstanding record of achievement and the company's longstanding commitment to our community, we wanted to recognize Queen City Mechanicals as our October 2016 Business of the Month. I spoke with Mr. Gilbert last week. I don't believe that anyone from the company could join us tonight. I don't know if anyone's here. I know he was traveling this evening and could not be with us, so Mayor, I'll make sure that he receives his award.
Thank you, sir. Next award is a recognition of Chapter F Sorority Incorporated, Southwest Chapter, Mr. Wright Wynn. And we have with us Ms. Pamela Dial, President, and Latonya Denson, and Brooke Bergen.
Brooke Bargett, yes.
Would you all come up, please? Right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for all that you do for the city. We can't thank you enough, ladies. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Would you like, oh, you got to talk.
Oh, okay.
Talk.
So on behalf of Alpha Kappa Alpha Phi Psi Omega Chapter, we are very thankful of this award. Our partnership with Forest Park is long-standing. It was started with the inception of our chapter 15 years ago, and it is something that we're proud to partner with the city and provide service. We are a service organization, 108 years old, and so we take our commitment to service very seriously, and we are very thankful that we have an opportunity to partner with Forest Park and to bring new programs such as the Shred Day that we've done, and we're looking to make it bigger and better. So thank you for your continued support.
Just a minute, please, Mr.
I've got to say something. It's not often that I get a phone call out of the blue with offers to help and put together a program. I've gotten phone calls and offering all kinds of programs which weren't really possible, but this phone call was solid, down to earth, and they had a lot of neat ideas. And so when I got this phone call in, 2015? And they said, we would like to do something. I said, really? That's really nice. And so we talked about some ideas and everything, and that was about the time when the county shredding program was kind of dissolving, and people were calling me up about, where do I take this stuff? And it was a real problem. And so we kind of came upon this idea of doing a shredding program, and we've never really done one. And so in 2015, we had our first one, and they were responsible for getting the shredder and the company and organizing it and getting the volunteers, and it went off like clockwork. It was beautiful. It was something that was really a joy to be a part of. And then we talked about it again to do it in 2016, but we had such demand in 15 that we decided we needed another shredding truck. And so in 2015, we collected over 7,000 pounds of paper. And then in 2016, we almost doubled it. And I'm not sure if we need a third truck for 2017. But these ladies have been a joy to work with. They're a resource that if there's a community out there that knows or has contact with these people, I recommend that they contact them because they're a great resource for a community. I can't thank you enough for everything that y'all have done.
Thank you. Thank you. Just one,
Go ahead.
if you mind. I wanted to make sure that I personally thank the organizer, Brooke Bergen. She's our environmental ownership. We take being green very seriously, and so she has been instrumental in organizing this program along with our Vice President, LaTanya Denson, who couldn't be here tonight. So again, thank you again for the partnership, and we look forward to continuing the partnership and it getting bigger and better, and we find other ways to serve Forest Park.
And I would just add to what Wright said, and I've been there both years for the shredding, but the thing that impressed me even more than the shredding, as great as it was, I saw more mulch at one time on one Saturday morning down at Cannon Park than I have ever seen before. And to think that this was a group of ladies doing this mulching, and it went off beautifully. And like I said, it was so much, and it's such a vast area to cover. If you think of Cannon Park, down Fresno, then upwards that Southland, all of that area was mulched. Every bush, tree, whatever, was done. They did it, and I think Bergen was in charge of that. They had so many people, the volunteers, so many of their sorority sisters, and some other gentlemen who I will not name for obvious reasons, that were there to do that. So I just want to thank them, and I'm very appreciative of all of the good things that they've done in Forest Park, and look forward to working with you all more on other projects that you have. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're pleased.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next presentation would be Industrial Beautifications Award, and that will be done by Councilwoman Holt.
Good evening, everybody. These are the 2016 industrial winners. You got plaques under here. I'm only going to call the names of the ones that said they were going to be present tonight. Forest Chapel on West Sharon Road. Red Lobster on Cincinnati Mills Drive. Right here. Wendy's Restaurant on Chase Plaza Drive. Spring Hill Suite on Chase Plaza Drive, and Quality Inn and Suites on Chase Plaza Drive. I would like to say on behalf of the Beautification Committee, we thank all of the people all of the businesses that participate in keeping Forest Park beautiful. These were not all of the ones, they were just the ones that I called were the ones that said they were going to be here. So a big thank you to everybody that is trying to help us keep Forest Park beautiful.
They're here, but I don't know which business. Quinn Chapel.
Oh, yes, okay. Quinn Chapel on Southland. I apologize, you were not marked up as one that said you were going to be present tonight, so my apology for that. Okay. Why don't I just call the list? Maybe there's somebody else here from another group. I don't want to overlook anybody. So we have ACPI System on Kemper Meadow Drive, Kingdom Family Dentistry on Waycross, Quinn Chapel, Cracker Barrel on Chase Plaza Drive, Penn Station on Kemper Meadows, and Northwest Wood on Passageway. Again, thanks to everybody that participate, and we really appreciate you helping keep Forest Park beautiful.
Okay, this time we'll move to item number 4, but before we do that, this is the time that if you need to leave, feel free to do so. Come in, appreciate it. And for those Beautification Award winners who could not be here, we will make sure that they get their awards. Now we move to item number 4, communications from the public. This is the time for citizens to comment on matters before council or to ask questions of concern to them. When recognized, please come forward to the podium, give your name and address, and then state your comments or questions. Council meetings will tape recorded for ease of transcription. Comments are limited to 5 minutes. Is there anyone from the public who would like to address council? Next item on the agenda is item number 5, reports of standing committees. The first of these standing committees is Public Safety Committee, Councilwoman Cottle.
Thank you. For the fire department, on Saturday, October 22nd, the Fall Harvest Fest will be held at the Senior Center from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And it's just a lot of fun, and the children and the adults all have fun with that. The second thing is Trick or Treat is Monday, October 31st, from 6 to 8 p.m. We do ask that children under age 12 go trick or treating with supervision from the adult, being very careful for safety and crossing the streets. Please be careful with candles, pumpkins with candles, matches, and lighters out of children's reach. And then secondly, the fire department, and I would like to announce that, or the police department, the police division received 2 awards this week. McKelvey Road Baptist Church gave them an award plaque for service. This was given to the fire department and 2 other local agencies. And they also received the 2016 Leader of Safety Award from the Greater Cincinnati chapter of the National Action Network. And the ceremony was held at the Word of Deliverance. And that will finish my report. If there's any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Any questions for Councilwoman Cottle? Hearing none, Councilwoman Cottle, I have no items on the agenda for you for the work session of the 17th. Do you have any to add?
No, thank you, Mayor.
Next report, Ways and Means Committee, Councilwoman Herbie.
No Ways and Means Committee report, but as a member of the Environmental Awareness Board and a liaison to it, I want to also thank and congratulate AKA for what they've done for the city.
Anybody, any questions for Councilwoman Herbie? Hearing none, Councilwoman Herbie, I have no items on the agenda for you for the 17th. Do you have any to add?
No, sir.
Next committee report is Community Development, Mr. Burns.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no report this evening. However, if there are any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Any questions for Mr. Barnes? Hearing none, Mr. Barnes, I have no items on the agenda for you for the 17th. Do you have any to add?
No, I do not. Thank you.
Next committee report is Law Committee, Councilwoman Collins.
I have no report this evening.
Any questions for Councilwoman Collins? Hearing none, Councilwoman Collins, I have no items on the agenda for you for the meeting, the work session. Do you have any to add?
No, not at this time.
The next report is Human Resources, Councilwoman Holt.
I would just like to say, we did celebrate the annual employees and volunteers recognition a few weeks ago. It was great. I want to thank the Forest Park seniors, steppers and line dancers for entertaining us and helped me to entertain y'all, because that's the highlight. That was the highlight of my night, my exercise, my dancing, learning how to do it. It was great. I enjoyed it so much, and I'm hoping that they will come back next year and join us again. The food was outstanding, and a big shout out to staff for what they did to bring this together. They did an awesome job, as they do every year since I've been here. So thanks to staff, and again, thanks to Forest Park seniors, steppers, and line dancers for the entertainment. With that, it would conclude my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman Holt. I have no items on the agenda for you. Do you have any to add?
No, I do not. Thank you.
Are there any questions for Councilwoman Holt? Hearing none, the next committee, standing committee report is Public Improvement and Facilities, Councilman Southall.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The only thing I'd like to report on this committee is the Lemon Tree traffic study. We took our last work session of council. We basically confirmed the fact that staff recommendation in and around that project would necessarily necessitate any further activity that's already been done. So basically, we'd like to put that matter on hold for an indefinite period. That's to conclude my report, Mr. Mayor. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to refill that.
Any questions for Councilman Southall? Councilman Southall, I have no items on the agenda for you for the work session. Do you have any to add?
No, I do not at this time. Thank you.
Next committee report is Intergovernmental Relations and Communications. That's my committee. I have no report except to announce that the calendar for the next year's court sessions is being concluded, and when that is done, I will make it available to all of the members of council. I will conclude my report. I'll answer any questions if there are any. The next item on the agenda is the mayor's report. Just like to report that I too attended the employee volunteer dinner, and as was stated earlier, it was a great success. And I want to also thank the staff people who put that together, all of the volunteers and employees who attended. Without our volunteers and employees, we have no city, we have no functioning city. It is they who make this city what it is, and again, thank you to them. Secondly, on the 8th, on Saturday the 8th, we had a celebration of the 60th anniversary of our city. The Historic Society worked long hours and worked very hard putting together a tremendous program of displays that so that people could see where Forest Park began, how it has grown, and like everything new, there were difficulties that were overcome, and the continuous growth of the city, even though, as with anything that's worthwhile, the city changes over time, circumstances and situations and people change, therefore creating changes in the city. But again, I would like to thank those members of the Historic Society and the committee, the subcommittees within that who worked very diligently in planning this. If you think about it, the difficulties here, you're having to go back some 60-odd years to try to not only find information, but find information that is usable and in a usable form. There were several displays of many old newspapers, and these have been preserved, and they were then laminated so they wouldn't fall apart and placed on display. There were photo albums of sections of the city showing one in particular, the Inner Circle Homeowners Association. Photos showing, because that was one of the Homerama sites, Forest Park has had 2 Homerama sites, that was one. It showed the original owners of the homes and listed the current owners of the homes. And what I found so very interesting about it is a lot of the original owners are still there. There's not been a lot of change. Some of them are now second generation with their children having taken over, but basically a lot of it is still being owned by the same family. There were displays showing obviously the creation of various organizations and entities like the Steppers, the police and the fire departments, from the volunteer days up to the days where we now have full-time operations in both. Pictures of former members of council who did a lot of work that causes us to be as effective as we are today. And it was an outstanding event. And I see that Mr. Smith, who's on that committee and was actually co-chair of that committee, is here. Knowing him, he probably wouldn't want to say anything, but I want you to make sure you thank all of the members of that committee for council. That would conclude my report, my mayor's report. I would answer any questions if there are any. Hearing none, we will move then to item number 7, the city manager's report. Mr. Hodges.
Thank you. I'll report 2 things. First, that the departmental reports were completed, included with the council packet, and also placed on file with the clerk of the council. Second, I would report that although there's not a lot of legislative and policy activity underway at this time, there are a lot of projects and execution of policy that is underway. And I've summarized some of that activity in an executive summary report that I've provided to council, and it's also available for public inspection. So that would conclude my report, but I would respond to any questions if there are any.
Any questions for the city manager? Hearing none, thank you, Mr. Hodges. We now move to item number 8, other reports. Under that, we would have the clerk of council report, Mrs. Huffman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to report that ordinance number 16-2016 and resolution number 32-2016 were posted as required, and that concludes my report.
Any questions for clerk of council? Hearing none. Before we move to new business, there's just one other thing that I would like to mention. Beginning with the November council meeting, which will be November the 7th, it is my intent that each month, at least, if not every month, every other month, that I'm going to ask the Historic Society to have a member present, and under the agenda items presentations, I'm going to ask that they give I'm going to put it under comments from the public, communications from the public. I'm going to ask that each month or every other month that they would do a historical minute. That is to say, come and tell us, and through us, the public, because it's through Waycross, some historic event or activity that took place in Forest Park. This will be another way for us to pass along the history of Forest Park. This will be very brief, The length of it will be left to them, but it will not exceed the 5-minute limit that we have. Because, as I said, having been involved with the Historic Society, I've learned that there's a whole lot of history out there. And unfortunately, even though it's been put in a book, we're doing a DVD, most people in the city of Forest Park have very little knowledge of the history of Forest Park, and this would be one way of, this would be an additional way of passing along some of that history. The first one that I'm going to ask them to do has to do with a very unique kind of idea that they had then, which was called the Babysitting Club. And I think you'll be very interested to hear about that one. And when you do, you keep in mind of the time period that this was and what was going on back then. So, Mr. Smith, I think our next meeting is on the 25th of October, and I will be going to that meeting and asking them to do this historic moment for us, if not each month at a council meeting, at least every other month. That will conclude all of the reporting, and now we will move to new business item number 9, new business. Under new business, item A is a resolution number 33-2016, and this resolution is to be read in full. Would ask the clerk of council to please read this resolution 33-216 in full.
Resolution number 33-2016, a resolution expressing support for the Winton Woods City School District bond issue. Whereas the Winton Woods City School District serves the children's educational needs of the City of Forest Park, Village of Green Hills, and portions of Springfield Township. And whereas the Winton Woods School District, the Winton Woods City School District cooperates with business and industry to provide training and skills which have been identified as necessary for the continued economic growth and progress of the area. And whereas independent state engineering assessments in 2003 and 2011 of the design adequacy of the old Winton Woods school buildings resulted in ratings of D or F. And whereas the Winton Woods City School District is seeking a bond issue of $8.48 million, and whereas the Winton Woods City School District bond issue will generate $76.6 million when combined with $33.0 million from the state of Ohio for the construction of new classroom facilities in the amount of $109.6 million, serving all children of the Winton Woods City School District and the communities aforementioned. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Forest Park, Ohio. Section 1, that the Council of the City of Forest Park does hereby endorse the bond issue for the construction of new classroom facilities in the Winton Woods City School District. Section 2, this resolution shall be in full force and take effect upon its passage.
Is there a motion, Mr. Burns?
Yes, I move for the passage of resolution number 33-2016.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution 33-2016. Is there any discussion, Mr. Burns?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. This resolution expresses the city's support for the school district bond issue for the construction of new classrooms and facilities. The Winton Woods School Board has approved the placement of a bond issue on the ballot for November 8th of $8.48 million, which if passed will generate $7.6 million. And when combined with $33 million from the state, the bond issue will construct new class facilities in the amount of $109.6 million. This will serve all the district school students, and I urge the passage of this bond in support of the school resolution 33-2016.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on resolution 33-2016?
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall.
Yes.
Resolution 33-2016 passes 7-0. Is there any further business to come before the body? Any further business to come before the body? Hearing none. Meeting is adjourned.